Hello everyone, welcome to Deck Tech. I'm Ian Duke. With me is Combo Master Matt Nass of Team Channel Fireball, and he's brought with him today one of the breakout decks of this tournament, that is Aetherworks Marvel. I almost said
Correct.
Ether Marvel Works. People are tripping me up today.
Yeah, Marvel Works is a common thing to call it.
That's right.
It's a little weird.
So a lot of you have seen this deck so far on camera, but we're going to jump right into the cards, and Matt's going to walk us through card by card what this deck is all about. So first up here, we kind of have the deck, right, in these three cards here. So tell us what's going on.
So Aetherworks Marvel, if you get to 6 energy, can be activated to look at your top 6 and cast a spell from it. And cast is a key word here because these Eldrazi have pretty awesome cast triggers. Ulamog, you get to exile 2 permanents and get a 10/10 indestructible that mills your opponent for 20 every time it attacks. And Emrakul, you get to steal their turn, get a flying trample pro instance creature that's also pretty unbeatable.
Yep, sounds pretty sweet. And if you can do that on turn 4, that just sounds downright unfair.
Oh yeah.
So let's take a look at how you're actually fueling the Aetherworks Marvel here. These are some of the cards that produce energy for your deck. Walk us through these and how they're important.
So the absolute easiest way to turn 4 kill with this deck is to cast turn 2 Woodweaver's Puzzle Knot, which gives you 3 energy, and 3 life, which is nice to get a cushion. And then on turn 3, you can just activate it, get another 3 life and another 3 energy, and that gives you 6 right there. So Puzzle Knot, Marvel, and 4 lands is a turn 4 activation, which is one of the best parts about the deck. But you can also get in other ways, something like turn 1 Attune with Aether, turn 2 Glassblower's Puzzle Knot, turn 3 Activate. Will also get you to 6 energy on turn 4 and gets you some scry so you can stack an Eldrazi to the top. And Meltdown is a disruptive spell that also gives you energy, so it fits perfectly into the deck. And it can even hit Smuggler's Copter.
Yeah, when I was looking through deck lists yesterday morning, actually, Aether Meltdown was one of the cards that stood out to me as like, wow, this is a really neat innovation here. It's great for slowing down your opponent, and as you said, hits Smuggler's Copter, which is one of the most prolific cards we've seen.
I think it might be one of the best removal spells in the format.
Yeah.
If not the best.
Fantastic. So taking a look at next, we have some kind of support spells. This is a mishmash of things. I'll let you talk us through.
So the first 3 cards here are tutoring for the Marvel. So Vessel is like a little bit slow because you have to play it for 1 and activate it for 2, but it looks 4 cards deep. The nice part about Vessel is that it also mills the cards, and this deck has like a backup plan of hard casting Emrakul, and Vessel helps set it back.
Yeah, I was going to say, and then Vessel's also an enchantment, which adds an additional card type to your graveyard.
And you can mill a Kozilek's Return, which I'll get to later. Glintnest Crane is a little bit weird in this deck. It only has 12 artifacts, so it misses a lot. But Marvel is so important that the digging is great. And a 1/3 flyer is actually a pretty good blocker in this format. Things like Grim Flayer and some of the other aggressive creatures don't get past it. And then Contingency Plan digs the most cards. It digs 5 deep, puts stuff in the graveyard for Emrakul, can mill a Kozilek's Return, and it can also set up an Eldrazi on top in addition to finding the Marvel. You can stack it so that you'll have the Eldrazi still on top but won't have drawn it yet.
Yeah, Contingency Plan, this looks like one of the major breakthroughs in terms of, I haven't seen this card in all of the lists prior to the Pro Tour, but a lot of people are playing it here this weekend, and it seems like it's really powered up the deck compared to what people were testing before.
Completely agree. And then Kozilek's Return is a great time buying spell. The slower mid-rangey decks are not tough matchups, but if people are super aggro, they can either kill you by turn 4 by the time you would activate Marvel, or put you in a position where an Emrakul may actually not be enough. But Kozilek's Return makes sure it is because it sweeps up their board.
Makes a lot of sense. Checking out the next group here, I think we're actually moving on to the mana base. So it's a pretty tight package there. We whizzed through it in just 3 slides. Anything you want to tell us about the mana base? How is the mana in this deck?
The mana is pretty good. The best land in the deck is Aether Hub. That allows for more turn 4s because even if you only have 5 energy worth of spells cast, the Aether Hub gives you the extra energy. So in the last round, my opponent actually just played a green Puzzle Knot and played 3 Aether Hubs to get to the turn 4 Marvel. So they had time to cast Contingency Plan and set it up. Botanical Sanctum, pretty clear include. But these lands are actually a little bit awkward in this deck because you sometimes want to hard cast Eldrazi, and so drawing a tap land later on is rough. And the main card in the deck is a 4-cost card.
Right.
So these can be awkward. Our team actually considered trying just blue-green and not splashing Kozilek's Return and playing like 4 Meltdown as disruption, but chose not to do that.
Makes sense, and then rounding things out here, some basic lands. Looks like, you're primarily green, of course, with the Attune with the Aether, being able to fetch up the
blue and green are roughly even because you have the blue-red dual land as additional blue sources, and then the red is just to Attune for.
makes sense. So the deck looks great. It looks really powerful. It certainly looks unfair when it's working.
Oh, yeah.
Although I've seen some games where it didn't quite work out.
Yeah.
People ending up with 4 or 5 Eldrazi in their hand and stuff.
Drawing
so.
Eldrazi is annoying, and some games, all 4 Marvels will just be in your bottom 20 cards, and you'll just lose.
Right, but so far it seems like it's working for you. What's your record so far in the tournament?
I'm 12-2.
12-2, fantastic. So looking good for the top 8. We're not going to count our chickens just yet, but fantastic stuff, and I wish you good games in the last 2 rounds.
Thanks, Ian.
Thanks for joining me, Matt. And this is Ian Duke signing off from Deck Tech.